Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live this week. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Great to have you all here today. Let me know as you're jumping on. While everyone's jumping on, I'll just pull this up on my iPad so that I can see all of your comments there. So let me just find where we are. Our Facebook has changed a few things with business pages, so sometimes I find it hard to find myself, or find my business page anyway, on Facebook. So okay, good, I found it straight away, yay. All right, if you're watching this back on YouTube later on, thank you so much for coming over to my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, just click on the subscribe button and then you'll get notified every time I update a new video, or upload a new video I should say. So thank you so much for joining me. Okay, great, we've got a few people here already. Hi Athena, hi Megan, hi Tina Marie, hi Robin, how are you all? Great to have you here with me today. So I do still have a bit of a sore throat, so I'm hoping that my voice holds out. I've got my water nearby in case I need that if my throat gets dry and extra sore from talking too much. But yeah, still getting there. So been taking things a little bit quietly. So you may have noticed last week my Facebook business page was a little bit quieter than usual. Didn't do as many posts last week. Because I just wasn't creating, I wasn't really feeling up to it, so just did what I had to do really. Excuse me. And that's another thing, I might be clearing my throat several times, so please excuse that as well. I just didn't want to miss going live today because I missed last week because I wasn't well. I didn't want to miss another week, so I pushed through, and yeah, I'm glad that I did because I'm here with all of you. All right, so today let me start off first of all by asking everybody how your Easter was and just wishing you a slightly belated happy Easter. I hope you all had a lovely time. Thank you, Tina Marie. Tina Marie said we miss you too. Thank you. Yeah, so tell me about your Easter. How was your Easter? Did you do something special to celebrate? Did you get together with family? What did you do? Oh, thank you, Jenny. You had a lovely Easter. Oh, yes, we did. We had a lovely Easter. It was fairly quiet. I wasn't able to go to church because I wasn't well. And we've still been doing church on, well, Amber and Brooke and I have been doing church online anyway. Jake's been going to church, so he went yesterday and John went with him as well. But yeah, we watched our church service online. So yeah. Yes, I have been drinking honey and lemon. Megan, thank you. Not ginger though. I'm not a huge ginger fan. Depends on what it is, but not so much in drinks. But I have been doing lemon and honey. I've been gargling salt water, taking vitamin C, taking all my other supplements. So yeah, and doing a lot of resting as well. So, which new puppies come with a lot of rest, sort of. I seem to be sitting a lot, not moving around as much, sitting with her a lot. Yeah, so it's not always restful though, because often she's jumping all over me and trying to bite me and things like that. Puppies just bite everything and chew everything. Yeah, I've got a few bruises on me. She got me good a couple of times, and I've got a bruise on my hand, a bruise on the top of my leg. Sore patch on my arm where she's grabbed me on my arm. She just, doesn't matter how many chew toys you give her or things like that, she still just likes to bite us. Oh, and yes, and ankles especially. Ankles and shoes and thongs and laces. Laces are her favorite thing. We cannot wear laced up shoes around her unless she's on her harness and lead, because she just chews our laces. So I think I'll really be pleased when this puppy stage is over. Tina Marie made cards over Easter. That's awesome. That's a great way to spend Easter. Very good. Megan says, happy Easter. We got out of lockdown and it has been raining the whole time. Oh, what a shame you weren't able to get out and about. Oh, but I hope you had an enjoyable Easter anyway, Megan. Oh, Athena's celebrating Easter on the 2nd of May. Is that Orthodox Easter, Athena? I'm thinking that it might be. Yes, and Athena had markets yesterday, so I did see some photos of your markets. Your market store looked awesome, Athena. Well done. I hope you had a really successful day. Tina Marie said that church was booked out. Yes, actually, because our church services we have to book into to go at the moment. And yeah, I guess with Easter, the Easter services would have booked out quite quickly. We usually have a lot of people at church on Easter. So Robin had a quiet, relaxed Easter. Lovely. Always nice to have some quiet time. Yes, and Athena said yes, Orthodox Easter. Yeah, great. Hey Glenda, how you going? Good to catch me live. Oh, thank you. And yes, puppies can be very, she used the N word, naughty. We do say that to her sometimes, but we try to change that to challenging behavior to be, you know, a bit more politically correct with today's terminologies. But yes, they're just babies, aren't they? And they're just learning, and so they get into all sorts of mischief, and they, just like a child, they take a lot of training to learn what is the right thing and the wrong thing to do. So yes, she's still learning that biting mummy's ankles, or anybody's ankles for that instance, is not the right thing to do. And you know, the most sensitive part I discovered, if they bite you, is the upper thigh. She got me on the inside of the upper thigh the other day when I was sitting on the floor with her and I had shorts on. Not that they're short shorts, but she just was playing and then suddenly came over and just went, "Arr!" and grabbed me on the top of the thigh. Oh my goodness. That was worse than the ankles, worse than the top of the feet, worse than the hands and the arm. But yeah, so I have to be very careful about that one in future. She was in here in the craft room with me a little bit earlier while I was preparing for you all today. And I had her in her playpen. So in the craft room and in the bedrooms, we've got the pop-up playpens. So they're basically made of fabric, and all the zips and the seams all have like plastic binding or plastic covering. She just loves to tear that all apart. So gradually she's pulling apart all of the seam binding from those playpens. But yeah, she had a little bit of time settled in here, and then the rest of the time she was tearing apart the playpens. So it was really hard to prepare for you all today. The playpen, or her enclosure that she has in the family room, is actually a metal. It's a metal enclosure, like what do you call it? Like a wire, like a metal wire enclosure with a metal wire crate there as well. Plus she's got a soft bed in there too. So yeah, so she's got lots of different spaces in the house where she spends time. During the day, usually she's in her wire enclosure, or we put the puppy gates out so that she's got access to the back part of the house. It just depends on her level of activity at the time. When she's super crazy, she's in the pen. When she's more calm, or we're playing with her or training her or just giving her a little bit of free space, then we let her out in the back end of the house downstairs, or sometimes upstairs too in the living room. But she loves going out in the yard, so we let her out in the yard. We've got a little area fenced off just for her, because otherwise she gets into all sorts of mischief and she runs away from us and we can't catch her. So she's got a little area of her own where we do go in there and we play with her and things. So, and we finally taught her, I'm doing lots of puppy talk today, we finally taught her she toilets really well outside, and she usually lets us know when she wants to go out, although occasionally we miss her cues, so then we have little accidents we need to clean up. But we've now also trained her to use her we call it the puppy toilet. It's one of those fake grass mat toilets. It's got the tray underneath it, and we have that in the laundry, so we use that early in the morning and in the evening after dark, because we have a lot of slugs that come out in our lawn, and a couple of times she's picked them up, and they're really dangerous for dogs, and especially puppies. They can actually make them very sick. So yeah, when there's dew and the slugs are out, or if it's raining too, she'll now use the puppy tray. She doesn't like it as much as outside, but she's using it, so that's good. So that's a bit of a relief now. Whenever it's raining, we know that she'll use it. Oh, your puppy Basil, Megan, he likes to bite noses. Actually, Callie goes for our faces often, but we usually move quick enough. A couple of times she's actually got Brooke's nose, and once she made Brooke's nose bleed because she got her right on the, I don't know if it was on the septum or on the nostril, I'm not sure, but yeah, she actually made her, I said to her, oh, you got your nose pierced now, Brooke. They are good company though, once they get past this stage, yes. And I seriously do not remember any of this with Molly. I don't know what was different, or if it's just that it was too long ago, because it would have been 15 years ago. Molly would have been 15 coming up in May. And I just don't remember any of that with her. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she got locked up in the laundry more or something. I don't know. Anyway, let me tell you all about some Stampin' Up things so that we can get playing. I've got a lovely card for you today. So I actually haven't written down any notes today, so I'm winging it a little bit in terms of my notes and hoping I remember to tell you everything. As you know, I always have classes every month, so watch out in my event section here on my business page for my classes. I have an upcoming class next Saturday, which is booked out, and we're going to be using the Hydrangea Hill suite, which is beautiful, and the projects that I've made are actually quite detailed. So I've got a few ladies coming to that class, so I hope they really enjoy that. And if you're one of them watching today, I hope you really enjoy that. I think it might be a little bit of a longer class because the cards are quite detailed. So, but yeah, I had so much fun creating them. Got my technique club coming up at the end of the month. So let's see, it'll be the 24th of April. I'm yet to advertise that one. I've got to get the advertisement out for that one this week. So look out for that if you would like to learn some new techniques. Tossing up between a couple of techniques at the moment and just going to pin that down probably tonight as to which one I want to run with. I've got some great ideas. Yes, so watch out for those. Again, if you have jumped on a little bit late, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to go over to my YouTube channel. Just look up Mandy Witherby on YouTube. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would really appreciate your support in that. Thank you so much in advance. And click on the little bell icon too, so that you'll get notified every time I upload a video. I still have lots of plans in place in terms of my YouTube channel with filming some shorter videos, etc. It just hasn't happened yet because the beginning part of this year, as most of you know that are following me, I haven't had the best start to the year this year with lots of things happening, health and deaths in the family and new puppy and things like that. Oh, that's a good thing, but that's a lot more time consuming than I anticipated. But yes, but my YouTube channel hopefully will be expanding in time to come, hopefully in the near future. Hey Julie, great to see you today. Yes, so that was one thing. The other thing is I would love for you to subscribe to my newsletter so that you get all of the updated news. I put samples of projects on there, all different sorts of things. If you would like to subscribe to my newsletter, I try to get a couple out a month, sorry. I was doing weekly, and then everything happened and it sort of slowed down a little bit, but at least twice a month I try to get them out. So if you would like to keep up to date with all of that, jump over to my blog. I can't actually put the link on my Facebook page, it rejects it each time. So if you jump over to my blog, and up the top on the right hand side you'll see subscribe to my newsletter. Just click on that and there's a subscription form there for you to just fill in a few details, and then that will add you to my newsletter list, which is fantastic. So that would be great, thank you. And at the moment too, I nearly forgot to say this, Anybody who subscribes to my YouTube channel will get a free tutorial. It's a tutorial which has 2 projects in it, and you'll get that absolutely free. Now it's worth about $15, so you'll get that absolutely free if you are subscribed, if you're a new subscriber to my YouTube channel, and if you're subscribing this month. So thank you for that. Okay, so you also might have heard or seen, perhaps on my business page or on somebody else's, that we have a brand new annual catalogue coming out on the 4th of May. Now, I have already ordered my catalogues and I have placed my pre-order, because as demonstrators we can actually order from that now. Already we have a selection of products from the new catalogue which we can order, which is very exciting. So I put my order in last week, so that hopefully will be arriving this week, and then I'll have some lovely new products to show you. I might even do a special unboxing video as well when that arrives. So watch out for that. Now, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like a catalogue, please let me know. Send me a message. Perhaps don't comment here, because I don't always see all of the comments on my business page. Sometimes Facebook hides some of them, but send me a private message or you can email me. And I would love to send a catalogue out to you. Now, my regular customers that have ordered with me in the last 12 months, you will automatically have one sent to you. I've already placed the order with Stampin' Up! To have those catalogues sent directly to you from Stampin' Up! If you are watching and you do already have a demonstrator, please ask your own demonstrator that you're working with for a catalogue. That way that's being fair to them and also to me. We do have to actually pay for those catalogues. They're not for free. We pay for them out of our pocket. So yeah, if you could just contact your demonstrator and ask them for your catalogue, that would be great. But yes, if you're new, I would love to be your demonstrator and look after you and give you fantastic customer service. So let me know. Okay, so also too, in saying that, if you are not yet a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, joining with Stampin' Up! Is the best value ever. You will get to, so first of all, when you join with Stampin' Up!, you only pay $169, but you get to choose $235 worth of product. So that additional $66 worth of product is free. So that's really cool. You also get free shipping on your starter kit as well. So when you purchase your starter kit, you can put any products that you want in there at all. Now the thing is too, with the starter kit, at the moment you can put your pre-order products from the new catalogue, which isn't coming out till next month. Those new products, you can put those into your starter kit now and get them early. So if you would like more information about that, please let me know. I would love to have you join my awesome team. I have a team of beautiful demonstrators. We all have such fun together. We've built such beautiful friendships, and I have a little group, like a Facebook group for my team, and in there we do creative challenges, we share our projects even outside of the challenge as well. And for the challenge I do give prizes as well. I love to spoil my team, so I do give prizes. Then we share tips and techniques and all different sorts of things. We ask each other questions. If we're unsure of something, it's a great place to go to, and you can ask, and somebody from the group will usually help you, or I will help you if nobody else has jumped in. Yeah, it's just a great community. It's so much fun. So if you would love to be part of a fun crafting community, have a chat with me. I'd love to give you more information about that. So also too, each month we do have a team gathering. So we're doing that online via Zoom, and that's a lot of fun. And I do recognitions for my team. Now you don't have to come to those, or if you're not available, you can always watch it back on the replay, because I do record them. And I give access to my team to those team gatherings, but I do recognize my team for different things, and I give out prizes and gifts, vouchers and all sorts of things. So yeah, and the best thing of all is that once you join Stampin' Up, you'll get all of your crafting products then at a minimum 20% discount, which is super awesome. So when there are specials on, like at the moment, we have the last chance product sale, we get our discount, plus we get that on top of the already discounted product. So some of the products are discounted already. We then get our discount on top of that as well. So super, super awesome. So all of the promotions that go out to customers, we get to participate in as well as demonstrators. Plus we get added perks as well. There are so many added perks, and I could talk about this for ages. I might even do a whole video on this one day. I keep thinking about that. So I will probably get to that at some stage. Yeah, so if you want more information, please let me know. There's absolutely no pressure to sell. A lot of my demonstrators on my team, they just purchase the products for themselves for their own crafting hobby. And that is totally fine. You don't need to do anything more than that. If you do want to, of course, there is that opportunity, but you certainly don't have to. Just join and get that discount. I would love for you to get that discount. It's fantastic. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the last chance product sale at the moment. So the current annual catalogue, which is this one here, is retiring on the 3rd of May. So a lot of the products, now some of the products in here will be carrying over. Some of the products in here that are bundled, so if it's a stamp set and it has a coordinating die and you get the 10% off, if they are carrying over into the new catalogue, they will no longer be bundled. So that means that you would be paying full price for each of those items. So if it's a stamp set and dies, the stamp set would be full price and the dies would be full price, and you can't bundle them in the new catalogue. So if there are any bundles that you were interested in, I would suggest getting them ASAP. And because the things that are actually retiring and going all together, there's a lot of products that are retiring and going all together, and some of them have already gone. There's been some fantastic specials, and some of them have already sold out completely and they're never going to be returning. Some of those is really sad. There's quite a few of my favorites that are going, which I'm a bit sad about, but that's okay. We're going to be having new product, so I'm sure I will enjoy new product and I'll have new favorites. But I just wanted to highlight 3 today, which I checked last night. I didn't check this morning, so fingers crossed they're still available. I did check late last night, like late hours of last night, and they were still available. And these are just 3 that, well actually 4, there's 4 that are my favorites. Oh, well, not my favorites necessarily, well, sort of. They're ones that I've really enjoyed using, let me say that. The die set I'm going to show you is one of my favorites and one of my most used dies, and they're retiring, so I'm really sad. But anyway, I just thought I would show you a few things. So firstly, and I quickly scratched down my little list. So some of these are currently reduced already. Some aren't yet reduced, and they could be in the future, but we don't know for sure if they will or won't be. But the thing is, if you wait, and this is what some of my team said too, so do I wait to see if it reduces in price, or do I get it now? And my advice is, if it's something that you really love and that you've really been wanting, get it now and don't wait, because what's been happening is things have been completely selling out, never to return. So if you held on waiting for it to reduce and then it completely sold out, you'll be so sad. So if it's something you love, get it now before it goes. So the first one I wanted to show you was the Fancy Phrases stamp set. This one is absolutely beautiful. Now I made some beautiful projects with this earlier, must have been last year I think, or yes, I think it was last year. One of the cards, I think I still had it. Oh, I might, no, actually, maybe I gave it away. Maybe that's why. I couldn't find it. I was searching everywhere for it this morning, and I'm thinking, where is that card? And I was looking up on my, over there, on my display rack, because it had been up there, and I couldn't find it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did give it away. I just really, really love this stamp set. It does have a punch that it coordinates with, but it didn't have dies. And really, a stamp set like this, you can use it with anything. You can use it with some of the standard shape dies. You can use it with some of our punches. You can do lots and lots of things with it, or you can just stamp it directly onto cardstock. Really beautiful. It looks beautiful watercolored, so either watercolor pencils or using your aqua painters. Really, really pretty. So it's $38 currently, not reduced, but it is retiring, so it won't be around for very long. So if this is one that you really love, and it's got beautiful sentiments, if you can see the sentiments there, really beautiful sentiments. And even this little one here, oh, I actually used that one in one of our I think I used the whole set actually in one of our technique classes last year. That's right, we used it for our what were we doing, our distressing class. That's right, yeah. So yeah, really beautiful. So $38 for that one. Now another one that I wanted to show you was this one. Is really cute, Special Someone. If you haven't seen this one yet, take a look at this. I think this one will be gone soon because this one was originally $30. It's currently only $7.50. Can you believe that? A stamp set for $7.50. It's amazing. It's really, really cute. And you've got the balloons and you've got the flowers, and then you've got some beautiful little sentiments as well. And you've even got little heart-shaped balloons, which are super cute, or you could just use them as hearts on their own. It's got the outline stamps plus the infill, so it's like a two-step stamp, or you can color them with any of your own color mediums rather than using the color stamp. If you don't want to use the color infill stamp, you can just color these with your own coloring tools. So $7.50 for that one. Super amazing. Now it has coordinating dies. I never bought the dies. I nearly got them a couple of times and then I didn't. But at the moment, the dies, now let me show you, I've got them in the catalogue here actually. I'll hold the catalogue up. Page 182, it's the special day dies, these ones here. So you can see it cuts out all of the bits and pieces on the stamp set. And then also too, you've got additional grass. That is a great die to have, a grass die. So many times I've wanted a grass die, and that's actually why I nearly bought this one. It was just for the grass die. You've got the strings for the balloons, additional strings. You've got a little speech bubble, and there's even a little bow at the top, and then die cuts for all of the little bits and pieces. There's even cute little, don't know if you saw these because they're hard to miss, the little tiny butterflies on here. Yeah. So those dies were originally $50 for that die set because there are a lot of dies in it. Currently on special for $12.50. So you can get, so that's $7.50 for the stamp set, $12.50 for the die. So what's that? $17, $19, $20. $20, and you can get the whole two. You can get the whole set. Now they are individually individual items. So let me give you the codes for those. The Special Someone stamp set is 151643. I'll read that again. 151643. That's for the stamp set. And the dies is 153587. 153587. And let me show you a card that I made with that stamp set. So I'm giving you this is a little sneaky peek actually, because this is from last month's Technique Club, and this is a card that I designed specially for Technique Club. Now I don't normally show those publicly because they're for my club, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek so that you can see what you can do with the stamp set. Now I didn't use the dies on this one, but this is just from the stamp set. How cute is that? We were doing our masking techniques in last month's Technique Club, and so we did some masking techniques on this card. But how super cute is that? So if I had have had the grass, I made my own die for the grass, but if I had have had that grass die from that die set, it would have been really handy for this card. So that's just something super cute that you can do with this card. And it doesn't have to be for a kid either. It can be for an adult as well. It's just a really super cute card. So that's a little idea for that one. Oh, thank you, Amber. Amber's just put up the codes for those ones. Oh, so sorry, I'm just catching up with comments. Tina Marie said that happened to her. She wanted the donkey tree, but it has gone. The donkey tree. Oh, the tree that I used on my donkey card. That's the silhouette dies. Yes, she wanted those ones and she didn't get in soon enough and now they're gone. So she's really upset about that. Yes, because that one's, yeah, so many beautiful products that are selling out really quickly. So the other one that I wanted to show you, which we're actually going to be using today, I thought that we would make a card with one that is retiring, is the beautiful To a Wild Rose stamp set and the coordinating dies. Oop. These are the dies. So this is the Wild Rose dies, and this is them here. So we're going to be creating a card with those today. Now these are, the stamp set was $45, currently only $18. And the dies were $59 and they're currently $35.40. So they're both reduced as well. I'll give you the codes for those now, and then perhaps Amber can put them in for us. So To a Wild Rose stamp set is 149452. That's 149452, and that one is $18. And Wild Rose dies is 149547. 149547, and they are $35.40. So there you go. Yeah, so we're going to be making a beautiful card with those. So go and check out, if you haven't checked out my online store, go to my online store. You'll go via my blog, which is mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com. I'll put that on the desk when I tip the camera down too, so you'll see that. But go there, click on the shop button at the top of my page, and then when my online shop opens, you'll see a banner at the top that says last chance products. Click on that and it takes you straight through to the page where all of the last chance products, or all the retiring products that are left, are still there. That you can see what's left, and then you can order the things that you would like before they're all gone. There's also lots of ribbons and embellishments and things like that too, so go and check that out. Thank you, Amber. So Amber's just put those codes up for us for the stamp set and the dies, and perhaps she'll put them up again. Oh, she's watching on silent from the other room. Okay, let me check the codes. Let me check. To a Wild Rose, 149452. Yep. And the dies, 149547. Yep, that one's right. And I'll just check the special someone that she's put the right code down. 151643. Yep. And the dies 153587. Yes, she's got good ears. She's in the next room, so she's not yeah, she's actually watching, but she can hear my voice from here. Otherwise she'd be hearing me in stereo. She doesn't need to be hearing her mother in stereo. All right, so let me pop those to the side. So yeah, make sure you go and check those out. Grab some bargains, get some specials before they all sell out. And then next month we'll have brand new product, but those ones that yeah, you want to grab those ones that are on special at the moment before they're gone forever, because there's some beautiful product there. Lots of dies and lots of punches as well. There's lots of punches that are going. So if you love punches, I'm really sad. Some of my punches are going to have to come off my shelf because they're going to be retiring, including the circle punches. So, and I have a feeling they might have already sold out. But go there and check if you like circle punches. We've got the There's the 2 1/4, the 2 inch, and the 1 and 1.5, 1 1/4, 1.5. But I'm not sure if they're still left, but they're all going because we're just going to be using dies for circles in future. So yeah, so that's a bit sad, but that's okay. Circle dies work too. Now, last thing too, oh no, not last thing, I've got 2 more things and then we'll start creating. Remember the butterfly bouquet products as well, they're still available. The papers have sold out, so the designer series paper, that was the butterfly bijou paper, that's all sold out. The textured paper, what's it called? I forget what it's called. Natural Touch specialty paper is still available as far as I'm aware. And the stamp set and dies are available, and they will actually be carrying over, the stamp set and dies, they're carrying over into the new catalogue. So that's awesome. They'll be available for a little while. Also too, coming up next week, we have something special. So next Tuesday the 13th, we have a very special paper pumpkin kit that is being launched globally. So North America were able to get that in January as part of their subscription, because paper pumpkin is a subscription in North America. We don't have that in the rest of the world, but from time to time they put out special paper pumpkin kits that are available globally. We just get them a little bit later than North America. So the one that's coming out is called the Bouquet of Hope. It is a great card for thinking of you and sympathy cards, really, really pretty. I will be ordering those next week. So yeah, so look out for that. You'll be able to order that in my online store as well. If you need help with your ordering, please let me know. I can order additional kits, additional ones of these. If you need me to order for you, then please let me know before next Tuesday so that I can place your order with mine and I can put them in together and get those for you. But yes, I'll be showing that in the next couple of weeks when I receive that. Probably in 2 or 3 weeks when I receive it, I'll show that to you on one of my Facebook Lives. All right, let's get to crafting. Now, let me just see. Oh, do I know if the 2019 to 2020 in color ink refills are available? Julie, some of them are available, but some of them have already sold out. I saw Rococo Rose last night. The stamp pad and the re-inker were available, definitely. I'm not sure about the other colors. I can't remember. I wasn't looking for them specifically, so I'm not sure. But if you have a look in the online store, even Julie, even though you're a demonstrator, if you want to just jump onto my online store just to have a look to see what's there, and then you can see what's available, and then you can go and do your demonstrator order under your own demonstrator ID and order what's available. If that's a quicker, easier way for you to see what's available, yeah, you're welcome to jump over to my online store and just use it as a little browser, have a little look to see what's there. Okay, but then yeah, go and do your demonstrator order as well so that you get that on your own demonstrator ID. Okay, all right, let's get crafting. Oh, firstly, oh no, I'll tip the camera down first and then I'll show you what we're going to be playing with. And do you know what? I didn't even get out any grid paper today. But that's okay because I didn't create this card using grid paper anyway. So I might be able to just use my little grid papers when I need to do any stamping off. So it's not too messy today, although I did get inky thumbs a little bit. So let's go that way. Inky thumbs, the sign of a crafter. All right, I'm going to cover up this camera and we're going to get crafting because I've been talking for a really long time. All right. Just bear with me for one moment and I'll get this all set up for you. Now I've got to make sure I remember to do everything because I haven't filmed for a couple of weeks. It's funny how quickly we forget things. Well, I do anyway. Okay, sorry for all the noise. I'm just getting everything all set up here for you. Tightening everything up so that we don't have any saggy cameras. Okay. There we go. Now, if you do notice the camera sagging, please let me know. Because sometimes when I've got my head down and I'm crafting, I don't notice when it starts to fall down. Now, I'm not sure if that is super straight yet. Let's just try and get that nice and straight. And then hopefully we'll be right to go. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. We'll have to see if I need to take the camera up a bit higher as well. We'll see how we go. All right, so here is the details of my online store. Oh, and if you are shopping in my online store, be sure to use my host code, because when you use my host code, if you're spending over $50 and you use my host code, I will send you a lovely thank you gift. So this is my host code for April. So be sure to use this one. Oh, I need to take that down just a little bit more so that you can see that. I'm going to have to create a new one of these soon too. I noticed that I was doing some, when we were doing our card last time for Easter, and I was doing the splatter, I got some splatter on the background of this. Sorry, I'm trying to get that down low enough so that you can see the shop with me. There we go. Hopefully that's okay. We're a little bit crooked. Trying to work out which way I need to turn the camera to make it straight. Did that help or did that make it more crooked? Let's see. I went the wrong way. Let's go back this way. Very touchy. Okay. All right. So, that looks a bit better. Let me show you again the stamp set, Two Wild Rose and the Wild Rose dies. Again, just reminding you, these are on special at the moment as a last chance product. They will be gone really soon, and it's only while supplies last. So once they sell out, that's it. They'll be gone. They'll be retired forever. So be sure that if you like these products, that you grab them really soon. Okay. So don't wait. Just make sure you grab them, and they're already reduced anyway. So that's really good. Okay. So let me show you what we're going to be creating today. So I have made a fun fold card today using those products. Now I'm just trying to work out where my center is today, because I've got everything over so far to, everything's in the wrong spot today. So this is the card we're going to be making. It's a fun fold card, so it opens like this. It's a fun fold card that I've made before, but I just really like this one, and I've just changed it up a bit this time. Now this card was inspired by Christine Blaine. Her layout, she didn't have a fun fold card though. Hers was just an ordinary card. I've turned it into a fun fold card, and I've changed all the colors, changed the designer series paper, changed the ribbon and everything. But her layout, I got the idea from that. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy watching me make this one. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with a piece of Misty Moonlight. So I have got an A4 sheet here of Misty Moonlight. I'm going to bring in my cutter, or my trimmer, sorry. And we're going to cut this in half. I'm going to cut this in half at 14.85, which is exactly half. Okay, so now I've got two card front pieces. I'll pop one to the side. Oh, actually, I need my trimmer back in here because I'm going to score this. So I'll move my cutting blade away, and I'm going to use my scoring blade. And I'm going to score this at 10.5. Okay, so then we fold that in half. I'll grab my bone folder. Here it is here. And we're just pressing that along that folded edge to give a nice crisp fold. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take the front flap and we're just going to fold that back in half. So line up the edges there. And very carefully with your bone folder while you're holding that in place, just run that along your folded line, your folded edge again, and that creates your fun fold of your card. Okay. Now, the designer series paper that I'm using is this sheet here. So that's our base. Let's just pop our base to the side. And this one comes from the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. Now, this one is also going to be retiring. All of the designer series papers are going to be retiring except for the In Good Taste, which is all the textured designer series paper. So the wood textures, the tiles, the fabric, that one's carrying over. All the other designer series paper is retiring. And to be honest, I didn't actually check to see if this one was still available or not. So I'm not sure 100% if this one is actually still available. But I've chosen a piece of paper from that one. And we are just going to cut this. So I'm doing all of my cutting with you today. We're going to cut this at 14.45 by 4.8. So we'll do the 4.8 first. Where are we? 4.8. So we need 2 strips of 4.8. Let's do that again. So you need 2 of those pieces. 4.8, okay, that's my extra bit. And then we're going to cut them at 14.45. So it's just taking off that tiny little bit. So that's 1 and 14.45. There we go. All right, so then we've got our 2 pieces of designer series paper. Okay. So we've got our 2 pieces there. Now we're going to use our, oh, I know what, I forgot to show you the other one that's retiring, but we are going to be using it today actually. This one is one of the ones I'm really sad about that's going to be retiring. It's the nested label die, the stitched nested label dies. This one has been one of our most used label dies since this one came out a little while ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. It was first in one of the occasions catalogs and then it carried over into the annual catalog. But it's retiring, which is really sad. But there's 9 dies in this set, including a border, a stitched border die, and all your labels. But we're going to be using that one today. But yes, this one is retiring as well. Not sure that this one is reduced at this stage. I just can't remember. But the code for this one is 149638. That's the stitched nested label dies. So we're going to use that for our label here on our card today. Okay, yes, so, but what we're going to be using first is we're going to be using the stitched rectangle dies. These ones are carrying over, so thankfully, because these are one of our most used dies, and you've probably seen me use these ones all the time. Oh, Glenda said she used her stitch nested label dies all the time. Yes, they're a good one, aren't they? Oh, and Jenny said she loves this type of card, a fun fold card. Yeah, something different. Yeah, it is. It's a really interesting, it just adds to the interest of the card. Having it, yeah, it's a bit, I guess that's why they call it a fun fold, because it's fun. All right, so we're going to cut 2 Whisper White panels using the rectangles, one for the base and one for the front. That's what all of our bits on the front are actually attached to. So let's, I think it was the 3rd largest. Let me just double check that. Yes, it was the 3rd largest one. So I'll take that one out and we will grab our Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to just bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this piece of Whisper White in half. Well, actually, let's see. Let's utilize our Whisper White cardstock. Yes, so we won't fit two that way. 1, 2, yeah, I'm just going to cut it in half, because then any offcuts I keep and I use them for other projects. All right, so I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm using the large machine today because this is a large die. It does just fit through. Oh, they are reduced, are they, Megan? Thank you so much. That's awesome. So the stitched nested label dies were $48.80. Oh, sorry, they are $48.80, reduced from $61. Awesome. Thanks so much, Megan. That's great. Callie does love all the offcuts, Tina Marie. You are correct. Yes, she loves chewing all of my paper and cardstock. She pulls it all out of my scrap bin. And the ones that she loves the most are actually ones that I've either die cut or punched out. I think because it's more textured or something, but she loves chewing on those ones. And I've worked out now only to give her the white cardstock, not the colors, because the when the cardstock gets wet, the dye can come out of the cardstock, and I certainly don't want her getting sick or anything. So yes, so I only give her the white now. Kind of live and learn, don't you? All right, so we're going to cut out 2 pieces of, hopefully you can see that, I'll keep moving that over, 2 pieces of the rectangle. Now what I was going to say to you is this size rectangle will just fit through the mini, however it needs to go through fairly straight, and then you get that speed bump. So I prefer to use my large machine so that I can put it at an angle, because it's got that straight edge. Any die with a straight edge should go through the machine, or it's best to feed it through the machine at a bit of an angle, and that just eliminates that speed bump, and it makes it easier for the rollers to catch it, and then it doesn't cause a lot of extra friction on the rollers. Sorry, I've just got to change hands. There we go. All right, so there's one. So we'll take that one out. I find it easiest to peel the outside part of the piece first, so the negative piece, and then with the piece that has the die, I get an edge or a corner. I could just get it started, and then I run my bone folder underneath the die. This works with the stitched ones, because sometimes the stitching can eat into your cardstock and really like bite into it and make it hard for you to remove it from the die. So I just find all my plates are dirty. I'm putting dirty marks on my die. I must turn that over. Turn that up that way. I need to clean my plates. Yeah, so that's an easy way to remove your cardstock from your stitched dies, because those stitching marks can make it hard to get them out sometimes, especially when you've used them over and over as well, and they become a little bit worn and a little bit more blunt. So it's just a little tip for you. I like to give you all tips when I'm crafting, help you to help to make things easier for you. So yeah, just put your die at an angle. I flipped my plate over. This one's going to need to be replaced soon anyway, because it's bowing quite a bit. Woo. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that side of my plate isn't as dirty. That's better. Okay, so take the outside part off, or the negative piece. Find a little edge or a little corner, and then slip that bone folder in. this one I use quite a bit, so this one's getting a bit blunt. All right, so then we've got those two pieces, and I'll just pop my machine over to the side for a moment. Okay, and we'll pop that die back. There we go. Right, and these little scrappy pieces, so these little pieces, I keep those because, well, I might even snip these, you know, extra bits off here, but you can use these for sentiment labels and things like that. So don't throw away your offcuts, especially of your Whisper White or your basic white, which it is now, because you can actually still use them. So this one that's got a little mark on it, I can use my rubber to see if that will come off. And if not, I can use that for the piece that's going to have the flowers on it anyway. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Renee. Oh, the paper is still there. Thank you so much for checking. So that is the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. Renee has just said that this is still available. So thank you so much, Renee. That's very helpful. Okay. So we've got all of those pieces. So we can go ahead and put these pieces all together, and then we'll do all of the decorative part. So we'll get all the base pieces together first. So we'll start with our Designer Series paper. Hi, Renee. Thanks for jumping on. It's great to have you with us. All right. So I'm going to just use some Stamp and Seal to pop these two pieces on. Now you can change it up with any stamps that you have. Like, this is just a basic layout that I'm using, and you can really use it with any stamp sets, any Designer Series paper, and just yeah, just change it up. But I just wanted to highlight this particular stamp set because this one is going to be retiring soon, and I really love it. I've always loved this stamp set. All right, so we just use that. Oh, sticky. I'm going to do the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm opening up the card to lay these pieces down, and we're going to put a piece on that front panel and then a piece on the inside panel as well. Okay, so let's do the front panel first. So the front panel you can do either with it open or closed, totally up to you. My first one I did it with it open actually. This time I'm doing it with it closed. Okay, so we've got that one on. Then you can open it up to do the inside panel. There we go. So lay that on. Ooh. And so we've got that opened up, and then you're going to lay that piece down, trying to make it so that you have an even border as best as possible. Okay, so then when they open up the card, they've got the pretty paper there, and then when they open it up, they've got another layer of pretty paper. And then on the inside, we're going to put down one of these rectangle layers. This is the one that's still got a few little marks. I'm going to keep that one for the front. Now, if you want to stamp a sentiment on yours, you might like to stamp it before you adhere it in on the inside in case you have any stamping boo-boos. I usually, with most of my cards, I usually stamp my sentiments as I'm going to send them out, because it depends on who I'm sending it to or what the occasion is as to what sentiment I will put in there. And sometimes I don't even put a sentiment, I just hand write my message in there. So I'm just going to be putting this one in blank. But yeah, if you want to stamp a sentiment before you put that in, this is the perfect time. Oh, my tape just ran out. That's okay. I will use my Stamp and Seal Plus and just make sure I put this down in the right place so that I don't, because with the Stamp and Seal Plus, it's so strong that once you have it placed down, you don't have much luck in moving it. So you basically got to get it right the first time. So we're just going to be popping that down in the middle and hoping to get that nice and straight. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to be doing with this front piece, this one is going to be going on the front, and you want it to cover up where this one is on the inside. Okay, so you basically want to put it on like that. So you only want to put adhesive behind this part here. You don't want to put adhesive over the whole thing, otherwise it's going to obviously stick to the underside there. So you just want to put adhesive on these two sides. Now, to work out exactly where you want to put your adhesive, what you can do is you can flip it over upside down, and you can just then put your adhesive here and here. And then when you flip that back over and line it up with the layer underneath, you know that you've got your adhesive in the right spot. It's not going to be overhanging, because you don't want any adhesive overhanging where that fold is. So see, now I've got my adhesive on the inside portion, so it's not overhanging the edge. Okay, so that's the basis of your card. So then when you open it like that, it's like panel, panel, pretty. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so now we go on to do all the decorative pieces. So I have, I played a little bit with some of the colors. We'll just pop that one to the side. I played a little bit with the colors just to work out what I wanted. But yeah, I really liked the combination of the Night of Navy for the outline with the Misty Moonlight and then stamped off Misty Moonlight. And then for the leaves, I have used Shaded Spruce and Just Jade. And then for the sentiment, again, I've used Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight. So I'll show you how to do that. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to add our ribbon. So I'm using the ribbon. Oh, I didn't get the name of the ribbon for you. This is the combo. Oh, I just had the ribbon page. There it is. This is the Flowers for Every Season. Oh, let me go this side. Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo. I'm just using the white from there. And this one as well will be retiring. This one won't be carrying over to the new catalogue, I believe. So yeah, if you like this one and it's still available, which I didn't check either, then be sure to grab that as well. So what we're going to do with the ribbon is I'm simply going to be, so if you can open that over. I'm just going to be wrapping it around this layer here. Okay, so it's just wrapping around that layer there. And then you can pop some glue dots underneath the ribbon just to hold it in place if you would like to. So just wrapping it around there. I need a little bit more to tie my bow. And what you can actually do is just tie your bow first, and then once you get your bow tied, then you can move it if you have the bow in the wrong position. Like on my first card, I ended up having to move my bow down a little bit because when I went to adhere the leaves, you couldn't actually see it. So yeah, you can always move your bow. You can jiggle it down a little bit, and then once you've got everything in the right place, then you can always add your glue dots at that point. Oops, just lost that. Hang on a minute, let's try that again. It's always challenging to tie bows on camera, and I know I always say it every time. It's a bit of a disclaimer, I think, for myself each time. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we'll snip that off. No, that way. No, that way. I always get confused which way to trim my ribbon. There, it's that way. There we go. Okay, so then you can just slide that. So you can see if I close the card over, it's just wrapped around that layer. Yeah, and then once, like I will put glue dots behind that once I know that I've got everything in its proper place. And you can even then just trim up these ends a little bit more if you wanted to as well. I've probably got them a little bit long. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our bow, we've got everything ready to go, and now we are ready to do our stamping. So let's pop all of that to the side. All right, so we're going to be stamping 2 of these large flowers, 2 of the leaves, and then I've got some of these die cuts, which I have gone ahead and done some of the die cutting earlier before I went live today, just to save a bit of time. And then we're going to make the label as well. So let's bring in the stamp set. So I'm going to be using, for the flowers, I'm going to be using the rose outline. Then I'm going to be doing the second step and then the third step. Okay, so you've got the outline, then the detail, and then the color fill. So you can use this as a 2-step stamp set. You can do these 2 together or these 2 together, or you can do all 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, which is what we're going to be doing today. The same with the leaves. You can use them just as an outline. With the outline, you can obviously use other color mediums to color in your image if you want to. If you don't want to use these color fills, you might want to add extra detail with color, or you might want to use your Stampin' Blends and add tone. We will be adding tone, doing it 3-step stamping anyway, and I'll show you that as we go. But yeah, you've got lots of different options there. There's even an additional flower center here that you can stamp as well if you wanted to make the center of your flower, you know, a different color, or you wanted to stamp that separately. There is a die that coordinates with that. You might want to mount that up onto dimensionals. Yeah, lots of different ideas, and beautiful sentiments in here too. Oh, thanks Renee, that's so helpful. Awesome, thank you so much. Renee says the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack is still available at the moment. Great, let me give you the code for that. So it's the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. The code is 153620, and you get 3 spools of ribbon in that. You get this white, which I used today, and then you get the Just Jade gingham, and then you get the Misty Moonlight with white baker's twine as well. So that's a great value pack. So thanks so much, Renee. That's great. I love having everyone on here that's helping me. That's awesome, making my job much easier. All right, so we're going to stamp onto some Whisper White. So I'm just going to bring in a piece that I had already prepared earlier. I cut this piece down earlier. I'm going to bring in my, let's put it up the right way, my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I will get a piece of grid paper because we're going to be doing a little bit of stamping off. So I'm just going to use my mini grid paper. Did you know that our mini grid paper is double-sided? It has centimeters on one side and it has inches on the other. So no matter which method of measurement you prefer, you'll be right with the mini grid paper. Same with our large grid paper too, actually. And this one fits into the Stamparatus. So if you love using your Stamparatus, this is the great one to use. Oh, Judy says she loves the navy color on this. Thank you. Yeah, I think the navy and the Misty Moonlight go so beautifully together. They look really beautiful. All right, so we're going to bring in our piece of cardstock, and we're going to be stamping 2 of these outlines in the outline is going to be in Night of Navy, and then the second and the third step will be in Misty Moonlight. So we'll do our Night of Navy outline first. Now, a trick with this is to have a look at the design of your stamp. The stamped images on the front are just shown at 75%. They're just shrunk down a little bit so they can fit all the images on the front of the case. So you'll notice the stamp itself is a lot bigger. When you're stamping with this, you have to make sure that you're lining up each of the layers in the correct orientation. And I find my line-up point is this petal here, which is this one here. It's sort of a different shape to the other ones. It's a bit more elongated. And so, I mean, pick whichever part of it you like. You can even put a little Sharpie, a little dot with Sharpie on it on each one of the stamps so that you know how they line up. And then you can also do that with the die as well so that you can line up the die perfectly. But this one's actually not too bad. It's not too hard to line them up. But that's my line up point, is that leaf there. All right, so we have got Night of Navy. So just going to ink that up. Now this is a photopolymer stamp set, so you have to make sure you get plenty of ink on, just move that over so you can see, plenty of ink onto your stamp. And I'm getting a bit of over stamping here happening, which you can probably see. I've got some around the edges and things, so just be careful about that. All right, let's see how that one... Don't want to stamp it too close to the edge because we need room for the die to get around that. That's not too bad. I might actually, let me do it this way. I'll take the ink pad to the stamp. That's better coverage. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's better. That one's a bit more solid. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera. This one I didn't have quite enough ink coverage. This one's more solid in its outline. So this one is still usable though, because we're going to be putting other colors on top of it. I'm not even sure if the camera shows that up so well. But to the naked eye, or in person anyway, I can see the difference. That's right, we're going to use that first one anyway. Oops, I'm molting everywhere. All right, so we use our Misty Moonlight now for the other two layers. So we're going to use our detailed layer. And again, I'm looking for that elongated shape in the leaf, which is just there. I'm going to ink this up in the Misty Moonlight. Line that up. And there we go. So that's our second layer. Now you notice it does go out a little bit in places. That's okay. If that happens, don't panic because you are going to be die cutting this anyway. There we go. That one was a bit better. That one I just didn't line up so well. Okay, and then now with the solid color, so we'll make sure we know which way we're going to line that up. Yep, that way. We're going to ink that up again with the Misty Moonlight, but we want to use second generation, which means we're going to be stamping off on paper first, then we're going to stamp that over those other ones there, and we get that we get that tone look in the flower then. So stamp off, and then there we go. Oh, that one was better. Both times that one was better. That's okay. We're going to die cut that anyway. So yeah, so now we've got those beautiful tones in there just by stamping off and using that 3-step stamp. Gives those beautiful tones in there. Okay, so we'll pop those to the side. Now let's just see, can we fit our leaf on there as well? No, we're going to need an extra piece for that. So let me just see if I have in my scraps here. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, I'll have to get another piece of Whisper White. I used up all the Whisper White that I had out. Hang on a sec. Okay, so I've got another piece of Whisper White here. And so we will stamp some of the leaves, and we'll do that in the same way, and then we're going to do all of our die cutting together. So all of my leaf pieces, I've got 3 leaf pieces, and I've got them all on the one block. I've got 2 on one side, and the 3rd step is on the opposite side, just because I was running out of blocks today, because a lot of my other blocks I used in preparation for me to film my next class. And I've got all of those stamps already mounted up. So I'm running low on blocks today. So, yeah. Oh, Judy's loving the design. Oh, great. I'm glad you like it, Judy. That's fantastic. Glenda says, with the 3-step stamping stamps, she never knows which order to stamp them in. Yeah, so it can take a little bit of playing around with them, Glenda, just to work that out. But sometimes it doesn't really matter, so long as usually the most solid shape will be your lightest color. So your outline obviously is always going to be your first one. You always stamp your outline first. Then with the other 2 stamps that you have, it's good to do your detail next and do that a bit deeper. And then with the most solid shape, do that last in your lighter color. Okay, so hopefully that's helped you a little bit with knowing which order to do them in. All right, so we'll do the leaves. We're going to be using shaded spruce for our outline, and then we're going to be using just jade for the detail and the solid color. Okay, so let's start with our shaded spruce, and we only need 2 for this card. So let me just move my flowers to the side. Okay, so we'll ink up that. Now I'm going to be stamping my leaves upside down simply because of the way I've got them mounted on my block. Okay, not for any other reason. So that's the first one and the second one. There we go. Now let me just close that shaded spruce. The first time I went to do this, well actually it wasn't the first leaf, I think it was the second or the third leaf I went to do. I used the wrong color. I ended up using the shaded spruce for all the layers, and I'm like, hang on, that didn't look like my first one. And then I realized what I'd done. So I'll just stamp that off. I'm just going to give that one a bit of a clean before I go to my second one, because it's on the same block and I don't want to get any over stamping. Oh, and I'm getting green ink everywhere. Got it all over my finger. Oops, sorry about the noise. I'll just get that bit of green ink off my finger. I don't want to transfer that onto my project. Okay, our wonderful chamois. All right, so now we'll use the Just Jade. And I'm going to use, I'll turn this around the right way now. I'm going to use the detailed stamp, which is this one here. Oh, sorry, this one here, the lighter one. So the detailed one. I'm going to use that one next. And I'm not stamping off this one. So just lining this one up. There we go. And we'll do the other one. There we go. So if I hold that up, you can probably, no worries, Glenda, you're very welcome. I hope that helped. Megan said, doesn't it tell you on the case which order to do them in? On the outside, no, it doesn't on the outside. On the inside, let's have a look. No, not on these ones, Megan. I think on some of the newer stamp sets, there were some numbering systems on the new ones. Some of the newer ones, maybe it was from the mini catalogue, but not in this one. This is an older one. So I don't know, maybe it's something that Stampin' Up's going to start to do. We'll find out when the new catalogue comes out, I guess. That'll be good if they do. All right, so that's our second layer. So yeah, so can you see that detail there in the leaves? And we've still got that little bit of white space. So now we're going to fill that in. We're using the third layer, and this time we're going to stamp off. So ink that up, stamp that off, and then lay that, I'll just line that up. There we go. It's a bit hard, a bit more tricky lining them up when I've got 3 stamps on one block. The other ones are getting slightly in my view. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got all the tone in there, in the leaf, or in the leaves, I should say, because we've got 2 leaves. So there we go. All right. So let's pop all of our ink away. We'll give those stamps a quick clean, just so I don't end up stamping them somewhere where they shouldn't be, probably on my fingers. I actually stuck my hand on one of them earlier. I hadn't moved it out of the way, and it was under my wrist, I went to do something and put my wrist down on it and thought, uh-oh. There we go. All right. Oh, I didn't clean any of my blue ones either, did I? My flowers. I should do that. I shouldn't leave that blue ink on. The deep blues do tend to stain your photopolymer. So I should have cleaned those straight away, and I didn't. So let's do that now. I'll give this one a clean first. Oh, it doesn't look too stained, so that's good. I'll give all of these a really, really good clean afterwards before I put them away. This one, if you get a little bit of extra ink inside each of the petals, you might just need to pick up your chamois and then just give it a bit of a scrub. And this one's potentially stained up a little bit too because I let it sit. Shouldn't let them sit with ink on them. And I should have known better not to do that. Oh, look at my finger. Now my finger's getting all blue. All right. Let's pop that to the side. I will give that a really good clean later. And now I need a baby wipe for my hands. Thankfully, I always have them nearby. I'm getting in a right mess today, aren't I? It's all the more fun, isn't it? This stamp set, Judy, is in the annual catalogue. Yeah, this one's in the annual catalogue, not in the mini. This is one of the retiring products. It's going to be leaving really soon, and it's currently on special at the moment. I'm not sure at what point you jumped in, if you saw the prices or not, but it was, where are we? It was $45. It's now only $18, and the dies were $59, and the dies are now only $35.40. So this one will probably sell out pretty soon, I think, because it's on special, and everybody is loving catching all these specials at the moment. But yeah, it's in the, if you go to my online store, Judy, and you click on the last chance product sale banner that comes up the top of the page when you first log in, you'll see it there listed under the last chance products. It's one of the ones that's on the sale at the moment. Okay, I was just going to trim this cardstock down quickly. There we go. All right, so we just got that trimmed down. Okay, so now we can die cut those. Oh, actually, we should do our label, our sentiment label. So I'm going to grab one of the pieces of Whisper White cardstock. This is one of the off-cut pieces. I'll bring that back in, and we'll stamp our sentiment. Now, the sentiment, I stamped Grateful to Know You. And so what I did is I used and grateful, but I masked off the and then I used to know you. But there's lots of different sentiments on there that you could use, but I'll show you how I did this one. Okay, so here's our and grateful, and we're going to just use a little bit of washi tape to mask off that word and. So all we do is just tear off a little piece of a little piece of washi tape, or you could use masking tape, and you just cover up that word. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim that to a neat edge, not a torn edge, so that I can get that in between the two words. And I'm just going to cover up that word and, but being careful that I'm not covering up the word grateful. I don't want to cover up the G. Okay, so just pop that there like so. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Night of Navy. Oh, fantastic, Judy. You love it. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm glad that you're going to order it. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to stamp, well, actually, no, we're not going to stamp grateful first. We've got the grateful ready. I'm going to stamp the to know you first, because then that will give me, help me to line up my grateful afterwards. So let's just stamp. Let's get that inked up well. I'll put it up about there, so we need room to get the die around. So I'm stamping the To Know You. Then I'm going to stamp the Grateful. Sorry, ink up the Grateful. Now I've inked that up. Before I stamp it, I have to remove that tape. Otherwise, that little bit of ink is also going to be stamped. So now I'm just going to line up the word Grateful. I'm going to have to get my head in here, guys. So sorry if I get my head in camera. But I want to line that word up above the others and get that in the middle. There we go. Okay, so now we've got Grateful to Know You. And that's a way that you can use stamps that might have multiple words on it. If you just want one word from that stamp, just mask the others off with a bit of washi tape or a few bits of washi tape, depending on how many words you're masking off. Clean your stamps again, especially with that blue ink. There we go. Now, I'm going to die cut that first, and then I'm going to add the floral pieces. You could do it either way, really. Oh, look, let's change it up. Let's do it this way first, this time, sorry. So bring in your flower outline, bring in your Misty Moonlight. Last time I did die cut it first, and then I stamped my flowers on there, but this time I'm going to do it this way. So just going to use the Misty Moonlight and ink that up. This time I'm going to stamp it off twice. So once, twice, then I'm going to stamp over the flower because we only want it to be really light. So once, twice, and then just turning this around to get the petals wrapping around that word. There we go. All right, let's see how that goes. With this one, I felt that I had the ink a little bit too much over the words and it made it a bit harder to read the sentiment. So this time I thought I'd just do it either side, and I'll die cut that and then see. And if we need some more, then we can always add some more. So Robin said, I've been using the technique you showed us where you use the marker direct when I don't know want to use the whole sentiment. Yes, you can do that too, Robin. Thank you. So even though I showed you how to mask that word off using washi tape, which I'll actually throw in the bin now because it's got ink on it, you can use your Stampin' Write markers instead. I did teach this in a technique class just recently. So you can use your Stampin' Write markers and just colour in the word or the portion of the sentiment stamp that you want to use. And stamp it that way rather than using the masking technique. So yeah, lots of different ways. Where's my trusty assistant Amber? Some days you need her to clean stamps and stuff. Oh, my trusty assistant Amber is actually minding Callie at the moment, Judy. She's keeping her quiet for me while I'm working. Yes, but she often will clean my stamps for me and things like that. Except when I'm filming. Usually when I'm filming, she's minding Callie. All right, so I'm just finding the right die. This one, that's the one. Yep. So remember these dies, Judy, if you didn't see this part before, the stitch nested label dies are also retiring. They're still available. One of the girls said, I think it was Renee, looked for me earlier and said they're still available. Or was it Glenda? One of the ladies watching before said that they were still available. So the stitch nested label dies, they're retiring. They'll be gone really soon. And these are one of our favorites. So I'm using the, so you've got two sets as they nest together like that. I'm using the second smallest one of the larger set, if that makes sense. It's the one that will fit around that sentiment anyway. All right, so we'll bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again. Did I clean that this time? I don't think I did. I can still see ink there. Oh, this one. So Jenny, the blues I'm using are Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight is one of the in colors. So it came out in 2020, so it'll be around till 2022. So for the sentiment, I used, the sentiment itself, I used Night of Navy, and then the flowers, I used the Misty Moonlight stamped off twice. Okay, we'll bring in our big machine. Why did I leave that right there in the middle? There we go. Okay, this is a big mummy machine. All right, so I'm going to die cut my sentiment first. I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place to line that up. So I make sure I've got that lined up in the middle. Hopefully I've got that lined up in the middle. All right, so let's see what else we can fit on this plate as we're die cutting this one. So we might be able to fit some of our leaves on there too. So let's grab our leaf die. So these are our wild rose dies. So I'm going to grab the leaf die, and I'll also pull off the rose die as well. Now I did ahead of time cut out this leaf and this leaf as well, and I've still got some of those cut out, so I'm not going to do any more of those while I'm filming because it will just take added time. But yeah, I did cut out this one and this one as well, which we're going to be using. Okay, I've already got them pre-done. I don't think I said that twice, but that's okay. You got the message twice. All right, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut these two apart just so, because my plates are quite marked and cut up now, and I don't want any marks to get on my second image as I'm running this through. So I will just line this up, get that hugging my stamped image. Oh, move that over a little bit. There we go. Okay, 1 and 2. And I don't think we'll fit. I might do the same with my flowers as well. I'm just going to cut them out individually, just so that it makes it easier. So let's see if we can fit this in as well. Oh, we can, look at that. We can fit this one in. All right, so we need to line up our die with our flower. Get that die to hug that flower image. And then I'm doing this khaki-handed here. Hang on a minute, let me pull it out here to line it up, and then I'll pop it in its place to go through. That's better. Okay, I'll use a little bit more washi tape. Oh, thanks, Renee. Yes, the dies are still there. Thank you. Okay, 1 and 2. Oops. Oh, I missed. There we go. All right. So pop them on there, and then we can take all of those through together. Oh, we better put the top plate on. That will be helpful, won't it? That's the one that was dirty on that side. Okay. Whoops. Let's make sure I'm going through straight. Otherwise, we'll have issues. There we go. Sorry, it's jiggling the table a little bit, making everything wobble. There we go. Okay. So let's pop out our sentiment. Hopefully the blue doesn't come out of my finger. There we go. So we've got the flowers just stamped there on the edges. If you wanted to stamp extra petals, you could stamp extra petals top and bottom, just to sort of surround that greeting if you want to. But I'm happy with that. I'll just leave that as it is. And our flower will just pop out, and there we have our beautiful flower and our leaf as well. Okay, so I'm just going to do one more flower and one more leaf. Now there are a couple of additional dies in this die. Oh, helps if I turn the die up the right way with the cutting edge face down, doesn't it? Always make sure when you're die cutting that you have the cutting edge down. So otherwise you'll have a bit of problem cutting your stamped image. yeah, so there's a lovely border in this die set as well. And there's some additional leaves and a flower sentiment and a lovely big sentiment label as well, which fits the big sentiment that's in this stamp set, which I'll show you in a moment, which I haven't used on this project, but it is a really beautiful sentiment. All right, so I'm just removing the die and the washi tape from the previous die cut, and we'll pop that on there. There we go. Hold that down. All right, I'll go through again. Alrighty. So there's our other rows and our other set of leaves. All right, so we're just going to pop my dies straight back onto the magnetic sheets. Those of you that watch me regularly know that I always say that I purchase the magnetic sheets through eBay, and then I just cut them down to size for my dies to fit into the die packet. But yeah, when the dies come to you, they come to you on a sheet that has, like on a white piece of cardboard that has double-sided tape on it, and I just prefer to transfer them onto magnetic sheets. It just makes it easier for me. But yeah, this is the big label that I was talking about, and it does fit the sentiment here: true friendship is one of God's greatest gifts. And also the word blessed is quite large as well, so it's great to fit that large sentiment in there, because you could do blessed, blessed to be your friend, blessed to know you, blessed to be a friend, blessed to know you, blessed and grateful. So you can mix up all those sentiments there. But yeah, it's a great size die. It was just a little bit big for this card for for my design that I was doing, so I didn't use that one today. Have used it in the past, however. All right, so we'll pop all of those scraps in the bin. Keep that bit for sentiments. Right, now we have all of our bits. We are ready to put our card together. Oh, one more die I need to put away. Always a good idea to put your dies away straight away as well, just so that you don't lose them, because so many times I hear of some of my other stamping friends who lose dies and can't find them, or aren't sure which set they belong to and things like that. So always a good idea to pop them straight away. All right, so we're also going to need, now I did some of these bits and pieces ahead of time. So I did all the leaves. We don't need additional leaves. There's also this die as well in the die set, which is really lovely. So you could even add that as well. You can add that to the center of your flowers. You could add it as an additional element. You could do a whole array of different colored ones if you're doing a different colored design. Yeah, they're really beautiful. But anyway, we're going to use that. We're going to use one of these die cut leaves. So this has been die cut in Just Jade, and then I have one of these ones cut in the Shaded Spruce. Okay, so they're the ones that we're going to use, and all of these bits I've got as extras to use on future projects. Okay, so now we are ready to put together our card. We've got all of our bits and pieces here. For the bling, I'm using the metallic pearls, and I'm using the silver ones because these ones have a little bit of a bluey tinge to them, and I thought they went really well with this color card. Oh my goodness, my hands are a mess. Look how blue and green I am. Glenda says she gets her magnetic sheets from the cheap shop, and then she cuts them in half and she puts them in the stamp case with the stamps. Yes, that's a great idea as well. A lot of people do that actually. They keep the dies in with the stamp set. That's a great idea. Okay. Now, so what I did is I worked out first of all, and you've probably seen me do this lots of times, I work out where I want to have my elements on my card first before adhering anything down. So I kind of work out my placement first. So I know I'll want them around about there so that I've still got room for my sentiment underneath. Oh, wait, before we stick anything down, I forgot to ink the edges of my sentiment. So we'll bring in some Misty Moonlight and a sponge dauber. I nearly forgot that little step. And we'll just quickly run some ink around the edge. So with my dauber, I just dab that a couple of times in the ink, and then I hold my cardstock in my left hand, and I'm right-handed, so dauber with my right hand, and I kind of have the dauber at, I guess it's like 45 degrees. And I'm just going along the edge like that, and then just turn the cardstock. It's better when you're inking the edges of anything, it's best to hold it up rather than trying to do it if it's down on a surface, because if it's down on a surface, you get more of a harsh finish. This gives you a much softer finish. And you just keep going over it gently. You don't want to load your dauber up too much. You just give it a couple of dabs. If you're unsure of how heavy it's going to be, you can test it on a bit of scratch paper or scrap paper first before taking it to your project piece. There you go. So then you get a nice even image, a nice even edge just around the edges. Just helps lift that white, softens the edges a bit, and it does look like there's another color behind it. Okay, so then that piece is going to slip under there like so. Okay, so with the first one, I just adhered that down first with a little bit of tear and tape, but my tear and tape ran out, so I'm going, not tear and tape, sorry, Stamp and Seal. So I'm going to use a little bit of Stamp and Seal Plus. So I'll just lay all this down so I can see where that's all going to fit. There we go. Yep, okay. So I'm just going to pop a little bit just in the middle of this flower because I want to be able to slip some of the other elements underneath it. So I don't want to put adhesive right to the edges, and you don't really need to. It'll hold down quite well just with the one piece. And I'm putting this one over to the left a little bit more, like so. Now with this one, we're going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on that one, and we're going to pop him up. So let's bring in our dimensionals. And again, I'm just going to pop them down in the middle because I'm going to be adding some additional elements to the edges, which is the leaves basically. There we go. So then we're just going to pop that down like so. Okay. And then with the leaves, all I did, oh, let's adhere our sentiment. So with the sentiment, I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue because that will give me a chance to wiggle that around a little bit. Now being careful when you adhere that because it's going to hang off a little bit at the bottom. So when you open it, you don't want to have adhesive behind this part here because then that's going to stick to that layer. Okay, so be sure that you're only putting adhesive in the upper part of that sentiment. Again, if you want to know exactly where to put it, you can turn this over and line that up like we did before with this piece. And then you'll see exactly where you can put your glue down. Okay, there we go, that'll be enough. And then we're just going to slip that up under there so that we have that overlapping. And then that's just going to adhere onto that white rectangle. So when we open up the card, there shouldn't be any adhesive showing here because we don't want that sticking to that inside panel there when we open the card. Okay, there we go. And now with our leaves, again, we're just going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue. so that we can slide that in underneath our other pieces. So we don't want to put glue on the whole leaf. We only need it just sort of on the stem and just at the base of each of those leaves. And then we're going to slip this in here. So that we can see a bit of that leaf coming out of there, and tuck that under there. And then because we've got the glue on there, we can just wiggle that around until we're happy with the placement of that leaf. And if you wanted to, you could even have that coming up under the bow, on top of the bow. I'm just going to tuck it under that layer there. There we go. Okay, and then we'll do the same with the one down the bottom. Again, just a bit of glue, the base of each of those leaves and on the stem. And then we want this to be coming out from where those two flowers meet. But being careful with the tip of your leaf that it's not going to be going over the edge of your card, because otherwise when you go to put it into an envelope, it's going to catch. Okay, so that's just going to be loose like that. Okay, but that's adhered under there. And then with these pieces, we've got the Just Jade die cut leaves. We're just going to put a bit of glue, again, just around the base of those leaves and on the stem. Tuck that in under the top there. And you can see why I didn't want to put too much glue, because again, it's overhanging and we don't want that glue to be, oh, I've got a little bit of glue just overhanging. Let's just scrape that little bit off there. We don't want that to stick to that panel there. Okay, so we've got that one there. And then with this one, just a little bit of glue at the base there. Whoop. There we go. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Oh, the designer series paper, Judy. It is the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. It's still available at the moment, but it is retiring as well. Oh, this one doesn't want to go down as far. There we go. Yeah, it'll be retiring as well, Judy, so it won't be available for much longer. There we go. We'll just have that one coming out there, just overlapping that green one there a bit. There we go. Okay, great. And then we have to add our bling. It's this one here, Judy. The Flowers for Every Season. The code is 152486. 152486. I'll hold that up a little bit closer. You might be able to see that. And it's retiring, so it won't be around too much longer. All right, so then we'll use some of the metallic pearls. I'm not sure if the metallic pearls are carrying over. I didn't actually check that. And I'm going to use 3 metallic pearls along the bottom here. Oops. There we go. And then I'm going to use 3 metallic pearls in the center of each of those flowers. I'll just take that gold one away. Oh, look, I've got one sitting up there on its own. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you can trim the ribbon even a little bit more. I might even actually do that. I might just trim it just a little bit more. It's looking a little bit long. It's covering up the pretty pearls on the center of that flower. There we go. So then you can maneuver your bow to where you would like it, if it's not quite in the right spot. And then once you do that, which I'll do now, is you can pop a little glue dot under your ribbon to hold it in place. So just grab a glue dot. I like to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to pop it under that bow to hold that in place there. And then that means that the ribbon won't slip off. Because the ribbon is just wrapped around the card, you could put a couple more glue dots under there if you wanted to, but it's really not going to slip off now because you've got one glue dot under the bow there. And also too, that will help to hold the bow in place as well. So there we go. So there's our beautiful fun fold card using some retiring products. So I hope that you really enjoyed that. Oh, thank you, Glenda. Oh, I couldn't see the bottom of the card. Sorry, Tina Marie. I just saw your comment. I just had it off. I've got the camera zoomed in a little bit closer today, I think. And so I'm not used to where to place it. But yeah, so there we go. So there's our two cards. So you can see with that one, I did put more ink over the sentiment, but I like it better this way because you can see the sentiment a little bit better with just having the flowers stamped either end. Just makes it a bit easier to read it. So there you go. So I hope you really enjoyed that one. If you missed the beginning, feel free to rewind. I was talking about a lot of the specials today, and also talked about these products as well that we're using today. So feel free to go back and rewind once I finish here and go back and watch the beginning. Oh, thanks, Megan. Thanks, Glenda. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks, Judy. Oh, happy shopping, Judy. All right, let me flip the camera back up and I'll say goodbye to you face to face. So just give me a moment and I will cover up my camera and I'll flip that up and then I can say goodbye to you all. All right, here we go. Oh, tightening up all my clamps. I nearly missed one then. Okay. Oh, I'm upside down. Hello, I'm on the roof. I forgot to flip my cameras today, didn't I? Or not today, this time. I did it earlier. There we go. It's always something. So many things to remember. There we go, and lights. Okay, lights, camera, action. And up the right way, please. There we go, yay. All good. So there's our beautiful fun fold card that we made today. So I hope you really enjoyed that one. And yeah, I love this fun fold. It's so easy to do and it's really effective. So I hope that you like that too. It's super easy to do it. So there you go. So really easy to put together. You just need the right tools to do it. So that beautiful stamp set, remember, to a wild rose and the coordinating dies, which are the wild rose dies. Whoop, let's go this way, and this way. Yes. So remember to grab those while they're still available. They might not be available for very long because they are heavily reduced and they are retiring. So very soon they'll be gone for good. Oh, and I didn't end up showing you that beautiful border. That beautiful border stamp is just really, really pretty. Makes a lovely border. So, oh, whoopsie, I'm dropping things now. So thank you all so much for joining me today. If there's anything that I can do to help you, if you've got any questions about product, or if you've got any questions about joining as a happy shopper and getting those awesome discounts, it is the best deal in the catalog, let me just tell you, getting that starter kit. As I said, you only pay $169. You get to choose $235 worth of product. You get to choose, you can even choose some of the new products that are coming out in the annual catalog that are on the demonstrator pre-order at the moment. I can give you information about all of that. You can get that fantastic discount, 20%, and then you can build that up to 25% over time. And yeah, it's just so much fun. We have such a great time together and it's a wonderful crafting community to be a part of. So let me know if you've got any questions about that or about anything else. Oh, Robin says she loves the different shades in the flowers. Yes, so easy to create with that 3-step stamp. It's beautiful, isn't it? And these look great in lots of different colors. I've seen them done in lots of different colors. They look fantastic. So, yeah. Oh, and Tina Marie loves the blue of my washi tape. Every time I cover up my camera with my blue washi tape, she loves the color. Wiggles. Oh, does it look like Wiggles blue? Does it? Oh, there you go. Thanks all so much for joining me. Hey, my voice held out. Isn't that amazing? I'll go and have a big drink of water now, or actually I'll have water and then I'll have my lemon and honey to soothe my sore throat a little bit. Hopefully by the time I come back to you next week, it'll be all gone and I'll be back to 100%. But I made it through, so that is awesome. Hey Fee, how you going? We are just finishing. You'll have to watch the replay once I'm finished. We've just made this beautiful card together. It's a fun fold card, and we just created that with some retiring products. So I hope you all have a great week. Remember to check those last chance products to see what is there. Grab what you love so that you don't miss out, because you don't want to be sad that you missed out later. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 o'clock. And we don't have daylight savings here in New South Wales anymore. So we're on the same time as Queensland now. So have a great week, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.